Hey Clashers, what is the creative attack and how do you plan those? Well, that's a good question. That's the question which we're going to talk about today because Carbon is actually hosting those 2 versus 2 creative master matches. And I thought, okay, because he already uploaded the video, obviously, but I thought I would just give you guys behind the scenes view on how we're planning those attacks, what exactly is going into it, how we came up with the tags with Exorcist and me. And for everyone who has no clue what I'm talking about, well, Carbon is hosting a 2 versus 2 Creative Master series, and that's where pro players and me are teaming up and facing each other with creative attacks. That's how it works. In this match, we have Exorcist and me versus Nick and Lex. That's the matchup, and well, all of this has a small twist to it. After the match, viewers, so all of you guys, can actually go in the stream of Carbon and vote who is the most creative. And, well, you can vote for up to 2 additional stars if the team was super creative. So that's like the cool thing. But now, let's get started with the first attack, because Exorcist already is in, and we have our first attack on the hand. And he's using a strategy which is not looking too fancy, to be honest, like Queen Charge Dragon. But the cool thing about this attack is, first of all, how he used the Royal Champion. He saw that the channel in the core is really good looking to charge into. So what is he doing? Well, he needs to take down everything which could threaten this queen or the healers and make sure the pathing is clear. How is he doing that? Well, he's, first of all, taking out the Single Inferno Tower, luring the Clan Castle with that as well, with the Royal Champion, then taking down the top side with the Eagle, with the Blimp. So the Eagle cannot activate anymore, and the next thing is the Town Hall itself. His plan for us was to bring Super Dragons. I thought, okay, it's more fancy probably than Inferno Dragon, but Inferno Dragons are just so much better in taking down the Town Hall, so he should probably just go with that, and that's probably safer. Then from the bottom side, it was kind of like a discussion what he should do. He thought about Hawk Riders, but I feel like this is the most obvious hybrid entry, so it's really likely that there are spring traps. So Hawk Riders would have gotten 0 value. So we both figured out, okay, what could be another troop which you could set in there. We thought about everything, like Headhunters, obviously not possible. Inferno Dragons maybe, but into a Scatter and Multi-Inferno Tower, it's looking cool, but it's not giving you any value. So at the end of the day, it's Dragons. It's not the most creative thing, but I felt like it's the most creative thing what could still work. So that's what he went with. And then the idea from him was to have a back end king to take down the top scatter compartment and then to finish off the base. That was his plan. Obviously, we did some tweaks here and there. And at the end of the day, that was his idea, which just, I mean, you guys can see it. It's working beautiful with one exception. That's kind of the bottom right side with this wizard tower. And one thing, I mean, I always like to kind of like troll it a little bit with like trash talk and everything. But one thing which he could have done is just sent the Loon from a little bit higher to take down the Baron King platform as well. Because obviously the Loon now is not going to take it down. He's trying to freeze the King, take it down. But yeah, I mean, otherwise, it's hard to critique anything or like troll anything what Exorcist is doing. In my opinion, like my only job in this match was to somehow win the 1 versus 1 against Lex. And then he should win the 1 versus 1 against Nick. That was kind of the approach, because this one is all about doing 5 attacks each. But those attacks obviously are split up. So Nick is going to do 3 attacks, Exorcists are going to do 3 attacks, and then Lex and me both are doing 2 attacks. So I know Exorcist right now is one of the best, if not the best, pro at the moment. He's just insane, especially with those creative attacks. He's just super, super creative. So I knew, okay, he for sure has a chance to beat Nick. At the same time, we're talking about Nick, guys. We're talking about Nick, the guy who is right now using 30 freaking Rocket Dunes or something with 10 bats. And it's just Nick. Nick is just one of the craziest person. And I mean, I had the pleasure of like playing with him. He's just so insanely good. Especially one thing which I love about him is that he's always coming up so quickly with his own ideas, own plans. So that's just one of the most impressive things which I witnessed. At the same time, playing with Exorcist, who's as well really, really creative, going into those plans, having nice insights and knowing exactly what can work and what cannot work. And Nick right now, all he has to do after this hero part is take down the splash. So he's going for the wizard tower, obviously for the eagle. He's going for the multi-fern tower and the core next with 30 rocket loons. He should be able to do that, and then he has like 10 bats for one scatter if everything is going his way. And that's definitely looking good for him. Like I said, Nick is just built different, I guess. He's just insane. And yeah, that's definitely an insanely creative attack. I don't think I have ever seen one of those mass rocket loon attacks. Funny enough, I had a similar idea for one of my attacks later. Obviously not 30 rocket loons. Okay, come on guys. That's not my level. But I had the same idea, okay? We're going to see that later, and I will explain obviously how I came up with this. But yeah, overall the match plan was simple. Somehow win those 1 versus 1s with like the same attacks for each. So as I said, Nick doing 3 attacks, Exorcist doing 3 attacks, and Lexnos and me doing 2 attacks each then as well. For this one, he's just going to be smashing the base. I mean, what can you do about Nick? He's just, as I said, a bit different. Insanely cool attack. Probably one of the coolest attacks of this match. And deserve the 3-star for sure. So I think we should jump into the next attack, which is actually my attack. So we're always switching. So it's like always going in between. So I think it's my time now. It's my time to shine or not. Let's see. And yeah, I'm going on to the number 1. I have somewhat creative army, I guess, with like 8 healers, a couple of rocket loons. And that's like the one thing about like what exactly is creative, which I'm going to go into a little bit more in just a second. Before, I want to kind of explain what the idea was on this base. So first things first is the dead zone on the top left side and the 10 o'clock side is only 1 tile big. So I know there can't be any Tesla in there. So I kind of knew there can't be a big Tesla farm. That's why the funnel looked really easy. So I just was able to push into the town hall without any problems. The next thing is, which I kind of saw, is that the eagle is really not protected at all. And for a town hall charge, I'm sorry, for a town hall charge, I don't need the unicorn. So I swapped the pets, which you typically do not do that often, I guess. I swapped the pets with the unicorn for the warden and the owl for the town hall charge, because what this does is I need less healers for my warden to take down the defending eagle. That was the idea. So for now, everything is looking good. I took down the bomb tower because I was kind of scared of the queen like backtracking or something. Otherwise, things are looking good. The next thing, obviously, and that's why we're coming back to what is creative. I feel like creative at the moment is more like you're trying to find the weakness of the base and trying to abuse it as hard as possible to make sure that you can play anything for the back end. That's pretty much the definition of creative, where you're using strategies which are not that common. If it is rocket loons, if it is golems, if it is mass healers, it can be whatever. But as long as you're abusing an entry, which is really, really good, that's what creativity kind of means, I feel like, in most of those matches, which is, I don't know if that's really the definition of that, but yeah, it's kind of strange. But either way, the idea still is to have now the warden slowly merging with my king, with my royal champion, who are coming in from the far right side. And I had the golem as well to tank to make this push easier. Obviously, there was like a Sui, I guess that was a hero dive bait with the Tesla farm, but because I used the golem, I used like everything pretty much over there. It's doable for me to get through that compartment. And then I have later on like the warden ability. Slowly the warden now finally is like grouping up with the other heroes, so I can push through the core. Then I have the siege barracks at the bottom side to clean things up and get things rolling. Because again, I wanted to first use the flame flinger. But hey, the flame flinger is so common right now that I was like, okay, I should probably not use the flame flinger. It's giving me a better chance at 3-starring. But the siege barrack is just less common, so it's counting more than creative, right? So that's always the discussion. Like, what should you use? What is optimal? What could do the same job but is less optimal? So you can still maybe make it work. It's tough. Time is ticking either way. Time is ticking quite fast, actually, sadly. There's a poison just in case if there's any traps. Headhunter in there because there's no heroes left. Time is ticking really quickly. The Dragon Rider is coming in as well. More loons are coming in. The Royal Champion is trying her best to somehow take down the scatter. The King is beating the wall. The Warden is following actually nicely, not following the King to beat the wall. It's 4 seconds left and time is... Oh boy, time is close and... 99.9. Damn it. Yeah, as I said, Flame Flinger would be in 3-star. I think the plan was OP, but come on. I tried it too bad with the wrong siege, I guess. But yeah, I feel the plan. I like the plan. At least I was proud of myself because I came up with the plan on my own. So now Lex coming in, and as long as he's not 3-starring, as I said, I'm fine. I'm fine with as long as I'm winning my matchup, because I have faith then in Exorcist in winning the entire match then. So he's coming up with the Skelly Donut and with the Masked Golem Super Wizard. So again, it's like, what is creative? What is creative? Is it obviously Skelly Donut is really cool to watch. But I mean, if you had 5.1k trophies, that's like an average attack to watch, right? The Masked Golem and Super Wizard. And that's what I feel like is so funny, because we're going to see an Electro Dragon attack later on, which then again, like if you again at 5k trophies, is such a common thing, but for pros it's like super rare to see. So it's again creative, and that's what is so bizarre to me. Like, what exactly is creative? Because to be honest, I might be biased on this, but whenever I see a Queen Charge, I feel like, okay, that's just insanely creative. Because if you're completely honest, 99.99% of the clashes probably which are out there have no clue how to even direct the queen into the right direction. So yeah, it's just like, I guess, a competitive thing, competitive community bubble thing, where they're saying, okay, this is creative or that is creative. So yeah, it's just really strange to see. I mean, let me know what you think. What is your definition of a creative attack? I would love to see that in the comments, guys. What is your definition of a creative attack? Is it a troop which you don't see that often? Is it the attack itself? What exactly is creative? Because honestly, I don't have an answer. Is this attack creative? I don't know. Was my attack creative because I just used 8 healers instead of 5? Was that creative? Was the, like, it is so hard for me to actually see, I don't know, what creativity actually is. But either way, the entry did not work with the Skelly Bat Donut onto the Clan Cast. I think he was a little bit too quick. Maybe like 1 second, I think was really close, with the bitters being then a little bit too strong at the end. Otherwise, I think he would have got it with the Clan Castle. And then time is obviously a big problem. With like 3 ice golems coming out, that's delaying things a lot. And now we have all of those golems. It's always looking so cool with those golems jumping inside, because that's another thing. You don't see golems too often. At the same time, though, obviously I talk with Exorcist quite a bit. They are really strong. They are really strong if you can make good use of them, because they're so tanky. You have now 3 golemites coming out of them. It's so much tankiness. It is so much tankiness. It is kind of crazy. But yeah, time is ticking. Troops are kind of falling short at the end, and this means it is going to be a defense. So far we have the percentage lead, but I mean, obviously it's like way more attacks to go. It's just the beginning of this match. And next attack is going to be again from Exorcist, so I can talk to you again about what the approach was onto the base, how we thought about the plan, everything. So let's dive into the next plan. Let's dive into the next attack and see what we did there. So next base. On this base, we actually had 2 plans depending on who would attack it. My idea was to use lightnings and then like earthquake onto the right multi-inferno tower with the X-bows, and then Queen Charge from 2 o'clock into the towards the town hall, and then E-dragons from the top, like from the top right. Exorcist had a different idea where he said, okay, he wants to charge from the top and then send it. I kind of switched my plan from where the top side he's going to charge it and the right side he's going to use Electro Dragons on. And again, is that creative? I mean, it is a Queen Charge Electro Dragon attack, but again, the one big thing which he's going to abuse and make this, or tries to make this attack work, is first of all, the king is getting way too much value. Like the defending royal champion, Eagle, and the entire compartment way too easily with only breaking the king in. And then he has the Flame Fling on the far left side with, again, way too much value, because he's going to get the multi-inferno tower, he's getting air defense, he's going to get the scatter later on. So there's just so much value for the Flame Flinger that, again, he's just like trying to come up with something from this far right side which can 3-star, but at the same time it's kind of like a bit trolly and it's counting as creative. So yeah, and he said, okay, he's going to go with Electro Dragons. I guess he's doing that quite often in those creative series, because, as I said, pros consider Electro Dragons as creative, which I feel like is super funny. But let's see if that plan is going to work, because his plan is actually to take down the entire base pretty much with his queen charge, and only this right side, this far right side, is meant to be taken down with the Electro Dragons. Queen so far is looking good. There's going to be the jump, getting the queen into the town hall. As I said, that's the plan for the queen, and he's going to use those Electro Dragons to take down this top side. Obviously, the multi-phone tower is on the menu as well. Meanwhile, the Flame Flinger, take a look at that. The Flame Flinger is doing insane work on this far left side, taking down the scatter. He already took down the multi-phone tower. So again, like I said, it's abusing the OP entries and the weaknesses of a base to make a creative attack to work. And I mean, yeah, yeah. That's kind of how I see it. Either way, the multi-phone tower is getting skipped. The town hall's going down though. There's now the rage for the Electro Dragons onto the storages, but it really seems to be that Lex and Nick expected a queen charge or something air related into this bottom side. Take a look at all of those black mines. I think pretty much every single black mine was around this bottom right side. So my queen charge would have definitely not worked. So I'm kind of glad that Exorcist tried it, because there's even more black mines. So yeah, I feel this queen charge on this far right side was expected. So yeah, I'm really happy I did not run into that. That would be painful. A lot of black mines over there, which is going to finish off the career of this Electro Dragon. And with that, it's not going to work. Really unfortunate. It was a crazy queen charge from that top side. And I think if he would have used anything else like Lalo or I don't know, maybe even Hawk Riders or something, because he had I think a rage, which could have been turned into a heal for the Hawk Riders. So yeah, I think this definitely could have been a 3-star with a different follow-up. Next attack, and it's Nick. It's again golems. This time though, no super wizards. It's going to be regular wizards. And funny thing is, after this blizzard, I was like, okay, a lot of value with that blizzard, looking good. And Exorcist already was in voice like, okay, we can go for the next base. This is going to be a 3-star. And I was like, wait a second, what? How can you call this already? Like, how is that even possible that you can call this at this stage? I mean, nothing is really happening. I mean, except the blizzard. But I mean, how is that? Like, how do you have any idea how this is going to turn out? It's kind of crazy. But yeah, let's see if it's actually going to be true, or if he's just talking some wrong facts right there. Either way, Nick coming in with the OP Blizzard, coming in with the Golem, Mass Golem with the not Super Wizards, Mass Wizards. So yeah, a lot of Golems so far from the guys. I still have to say, I'm still like, this first attack from Nick was something different with the 30 Rocket Loons. That was for sure creative. About the remaining attacks from our side as well, so not anyone is like say, oh, Itsu is just hating on those. No, it's all about our attacks as well. I really have problems in like trying to see the definition of what is creative. That's why I'm looking so far. I really hope that a lot of you guys are going to put their definition, their understanding of the definition of being creative into the comments, because I would love to read those. Because I honestly, that's why I'm asking, I honestly don't know at this point anymore what is considered creative. Because to me, it always feels like it is a normal entry. And to me, a Skelly Donut is not creative, guys. That's a normal entry, like a Blizzard or something. I mean, come on. Yes, it's not easy, but it's hard entry does not mean creative entry. So you're trying to have like a really competitive, good entry, trying to abuse the biggest weakness of the base, and then have follow up whatever just to make a creative attack. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm just seeing something wrong, but this is just completely smashed, as Exorcist said on voice. Incredible plan again from Nick. Really nicely executed as well. Really calm as well. That's just really impressive. And he can even swag it there, like 2 invisibility spells. Another nice attack from Nick. Really nicely done. Good job to him. And now I have to go in again next. I have to go in next. Already said in the beginning, I wanted to try something similar with the Rocket Loons. Obviously, the plans already were coming up way before, so I was kind of surprised that Nick is coming up with a Mass Rocket Loon as well. I'm not as cool as him, okay? So I'm not having a real Mass Rocket Loon. I have only 16. Like half of the Rocket Loons which Nick used, okay? For me, it's still a lot, okay? And yeah, the idea of this one was to kind of abuse the fact, again, that I have a lot of value with the Flame Flinger at the bottom side, and I can use the Sneaky Goblins for the tunnel. Those were the two things which I feel like is really, really good in this base, or like is really weak in this base. And then the next idea was pretty much to, okay, use my heroes to take down as much splash as possible, because I really desperately wanted to not use another queen charge, because even if I might fail, I want to use something different, which people like do not always see from me. Because I mean, if you watch my YouTube videos, you know me as a pretty, I would consider me at least a pretty good queen charge attacker. But I mean, I want to get out of comfort zone at least a little bit for this second attack. And I had the permission of Exorcist nicely. So the idea was to take down Splash. And I hope for my king to like break through the wall into the core or something. Which he did not. He did go for the bottom side, which was anyways planned for the Flame Flinger. So yeah, seeing this again, I feel like the Warden had no value. Then the wall breaks into the Town Hall. I wanted to have the Sneaky Goblins for the Town Hall after my hero dive, so the damage of the Town Hall is not activated just yet. That was the plan. One test Sneaky, there we go. And then obviously, like the rest of the Sneakies behind with the invisibility spell to take everything down. So at this point, I want to take down the rest of the Splash, right? So that was my main goal, which I tried to accomplish with like using the Royal Champ on the far right side to take down the Scatter. And then the Flame Flinger is going to take down another Wizard Tower. And then I have my Rocket Loons for the top Scatter and the top 2 Wizard Towers. What I did hope, though, is that there's a Tesla farm either at the bottom or on the left side, which was not. So, yeah, kind of expect, no, what is the word? I did expect something different Tesla farm-wise. And if you guys ever use, bats, you guys know Rocket Loons, if you use ever bats, you know Tesla already. Not the best against Tesla. I have 4 freezes, but I'm going against a sweeper. I'm going to sit into a multi-inferno tower. The pathing isn't the greatest. So yeah, at this point already I knew, okay, that plan was ambitious. I wanted to try something different for the series, for the entertainment, but it did not work out. The first attack though, I should have 3-star for sure. Maybe I was a bit too ballsy over there with choosing the wrong siege. But yeah, this attack for sure. The plan just did not work. Maybe the plan could have worked with a different Warden. Maybe I should have used the Warden on the far right side with my Royal Champ together. Maybe that would have been better. Maybe I would have got more, especially if I can take down the Royal Champ. Maybe my Dragon Rider from the Siege Barracks, from the Flame Flinger, could have taken down the core multi. But yeah, either way, it did not work. Maybe a little bit more bats. I'm not the bad attacker typically, but don't want to make excuses. This attack, this plan did not work out. Maybe I did some execution mistakes as well, but it's going to be 85% 2-star. Let's see. If Lex can beat that, they have a good chance at winning. As I said, I'm fine as long as I win my 1 versus 1. If it's percentage or star-based, at this point I highly doubt it's going to be star-based. But yeah, he's going to go in again with Golems. This time again with the Skelly Bad Donut. Onto the Clan Castle, onto the multi-inferno tower in the core. Meanwhile, doing the Warden Walk for the, not Inferno Tower, it's the Eagle at the bottom side. I'm really looking forward to see how he's using those super archers, though. The core is taken down, that's looking good. This time he got the Clan Castle, he took down the multi-inferno tower, that's good. And now the question is, where is he entering? How is he going to plan out of this? He has a lot of healers as well. So he's a lot of healers with his army, but those triple healers behind the Eagle is going to give him quite some problems. You're already starting with the first super archer just because of time, I guess. And the Eagle, you can see it, there's now 3 builders onto it. 3 builders, you might think it's not that much, but actually it's a lot. It's a lot of healing, especially onto high HP building like an Eagle, which can take forever to take it down. The Eagle already now is activating, single Inferno Towers onto his king. There's the Ice Golem coming in, there's the freeze, and now he's trying to push the king back with this left push wizard. He's actually getting it. It's kind of crazy that the king went back into the single Inferno Tower. But now, the lock launcher, nice angle right there to take everything into the tunnel direction. But with the Eagle still standing, or like finally now going down, the problem is that the Queen is taking quite a lot time-wise to actually take all of this down, because Super Archers did not help her. And now the problem is that the left side, because they had to start so early with the King, with the Golem, with the Wizard, everything pushed already too far, so the Queen is not getting this pushback. There's no biddings left to lure her back. So now he has to actually fight for this 2nd star, even though, I mean, he has the Royal Champion. He has a lot of troops left over there. So that shouldn't be a problem at the end, using wizards already. Healers now for the Royal Champ, but actually he's using the healers either too late or too early. I'm not sure with the wizard, but they're stuck now onto that wizard. There's now the invisibility spell to make sure that the Royal Champ is taking down the Town Hall. And he has now 30 seconds left, so things aren't looking too good for him. With the Royal Champion going through there. There's another golem. There's so many golems. Like, it's so crazy, and they're so tanky. Royal Champion is going through. And actually with those rages, he has now finally the Royal Champion charge unlocked, which he tried to go for. The wizards died at the top side. And now he's just keep supporting the golem from the outside. The queen survived all of this as well. I think he had the... No, he had the yak onto the queen, not the unicorn. So the queen is still going strong with the healers from the beginning. And this is going to be a time fail at the end, actually. It's going to be a time fail, but still, percentage-wise, we are ahead. This means if we 3-star now, or if it exits 3 stars now, we should be looking good, because then Nick has a 3-star as well. Now, let's get back to this attack, because, again, the big weakness, which Exorcist said, like, he was looking at this base and was like immediately saying, okay, the big weakness of this base, or the one thing which he has to abuse, is this top left Inferno Tower. And what he did with that, he said, okay, if there's no Tesla farm, I can just snipe the air defense, raise up an Electro Dragon, and take down the entire top left power. And that's exactly what he's doing right now. But not only that, he's now sending in an additional blimp as well to take down the Royal Champ and lure up the Clan Castle, so he has not to face it later on. The Electro Dragon is just not dying, because the only thing which is defending air on this top left side was the air defense. No one cares about an Inferno Tower, because obviously Electro Dragon is just way too tanky. Queen now, with the King, with the Warden, with everything, are pushing around the top side. The King already is really low on hit points, which is kind of fortunate. But still, you can see the entire far left side is already cleared out. And this is already looking really, really good for Exorcist. Now the big thing is obviously, is the Queen going to be stuck again too long onto this Lava Hound? This happened out to a couple of people already. And this Lava Hound really can give a big problem to those hero dives where the Queen is so needed, so important into those pushes. So let's see. Electro Dragon somehow is still alive. I don't know why those Electro Dragon is staying alive for so long, but I mean, it started at the top left side, but the Electro Dragon is still going. This is just crazy. I don't know why this Electro Dragon is staying alive for so long, but now we have the King around this bottom right side. We have the heroes pushing towards their Town Hall. Town Hall obviously being already active because it's way above the 50% mark. And again, it's the golems which are pushing in. And the question again to you guys, is this attack then creative? Or is it just golem spam? Or what makes an attack creative? I'm really looking so forward to see what you guys have to think about that. Or like what you have to say about that. But to this attack, at this point I was like, damn it, you did not make it. And he was like, I have still the Royal Champion left. I did not pay attention to that. So at this time, I don't know if he was trolling or if he actually believed he could finish off without the Royal Champ. But he actually said, okay, I would try to finish off again without the Royal Champion. And I was so mad at him because, I mean, he's trolling so bad. At this point, I guess he noticed, or he was finished trolling me or something. I don't know. But yeah, he then plays the Royal Champ. Nearly swagged the Royal Champion with this Electro Dragon. And you can see the Electro Dragon finish at the top left. And I think he died at the bottom right or something. So Electro Dragon of Doom with a nearly Royal Champion swag. That's just creative. And now the final thing is going to be Nick versus my base. And with my base, I mean really highly skilled, copied with the base link from Stefan. That's how you do it. That's base building 2022, copying base links from Stefan. That's just the way to go. So Nick is coming in with the Warden Walk Mass Valkyrie attack, which is again one of his crazy creative masterpieces. So let's see. We have a lot of tests around the Town Hall because, I mean, we can expect it somewhat. A lot of Flame Flingers for Town Hall because they like to do that. So yeah, Warden Walk so far went great. There's the first wall break. And now sending in the remaining wall breakers. I think he had only 5 with him because typically 6 should get the wall open, even if the wall breakers are getting taken down by a scatter shot or something. So I think there was 1 or 2 less wall breaks. Flame Flinger now finally onto the Town Hall. But the problem again is that, and that's just, I don't know, Warden ability And the problem is the Lava Hound. Take a look at that Lava Hound. The healers are stuck onto the Queen. The Valkyries are already in the core or somewhere. And that's the big problem why no one is using Valkyries. They're just such a shit unit, which is just not working with any other unit because they're just way too fast, especially if you rage them up. And I don't know. I really think they need to have that rework for the Valkyries, but obviously big props to Nick for trying it. Let's see if we can still make it work. He has to use the Queen ability to keep that Queen alive. He has the King and the Royal Champion on the far left side still there. He has one phrase, he has the Royal Champion ability, and he has the Flame Flinger. So never say never in this current meta. So always things can happen. There's now the phrase, Queen is taken down, and with that it should be the defense, and that means we are going to win this match. Actually, in the voting, I think that's another thing I talked about in the beginning. There's a voting after every single match where the community, where the viewers, so you guys out there, that's another reason why you should definitely check out the stream from Carbonfin, where the viewers can actually vote for 0 to 2 additional stars. I think both teams on this one got 2 additional stars, which I think is fair. Both teams did a really, really good job. And doing creative attacks, I guess, from my definition of creative attacks, was a lot of fun. GG's obviously to Nick and Lex. And yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed those small insights. And I will see you guys back in 2 days again with the next video. Until then, see ya and bye-bye.